kind of a team fight, crowd control based threat here. Cassante does fit the bill a bit, but the wombo of a Gnar and a Leona can really set up Kiana, Felios. Here it is. This is kind of a big tryout maybe for a guy like YXL, because you know you're not going to move Knight off his mid lane position. He's going to get moved off of his mid lane position in our game as he has to burn the flash. And just like that, first blood's going to come across here to Haichao. Shun, though, going to find the dive trade to make Starry's life even more living hell here, and even the kill count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, YXL too far forward there, jungle missing, and therefore if Moham's roaming like he is, for the Renekton to, for Bin to solo kill Starry here, but YXL.
Oh my god, Moham flashes right on top to layer all the CC down. YXL, no flash, remember. It's a flash forward here from Juhan to make sure they have more than enough damage, and there's one of Jay Beto's early calls. Get the Kiana rolling early. Has a first kill early on here as Starry is going to get dove. Doesn't get slammed into the wall, but On is taking enough to tank up that turn, and this time Viper does claim the kill. You may get the rest of your map fed, OMG, but Starry is drowning that melee-centric damage dealing comp in these later fights. We'll have to keep a tab on that as Shun gets access level 6, and what does he do? He flash ults right on top of Harry's head. Didn't have a chance to flash, use any other ability. Start. It's kind of just a lot of awkward dancing around, trying to claim some vision on. Won't get hit by the Zenith Blade there from Moham, but he still commits the Solar Flare with Junhan nearby. There's a Supreme Display of Talent. Unstoppable Force does get canceled. Viper can't touch Starry with that range out of the green gun. The Arc of Ruin not going to save him. Dodges 1Q, but still has to flash away as Moham cuts down on for size.
Viper was zoned away by Starry there. It looked a bit awkward on the top side, but what happened is Viper had to cleanse the ult from...
is done here for YXL, so at least matching in power. But all right, Shun really wants to go for this. He's come around the wall here. He has the Unstoppable Force. They're going to go just for the all-in.
Wow.
Harry's health bar is low enough. No Cassante outplays around the turret here. It's
Harry's
another...
only counterplay there is to flash the initial engage, but once it's hit, he CC chained to the point. Hold on.
Oh, on full Leona combination comes down. Haichao also with the hijacked ultimate, but YXL gets a ton of time with the Snatcher 2. He's going to push Haichao into the air as they finish off Moham. There's the Keeper's Verdict knockup as well from On. He'll trade his life, but that's a happy sacrifice as he throws up the thumbs up because he's got his Bash Bro with him again. Shun's here with Unstoppable Force. It is a 3v2, two separate fights kind of breaking out here. TP's coming behind. That is YXL. Juhan gonna have to flash away from Shun. There's the hijacked Unstoppable Force into the Supreme Display of Talent. Really good ult layering coming across there from OMG to get the kill onto Shun. YXL on the top side trying to get that lethal tempo going. His bid with the Dominus pop. Really can't find a target until he sets his sights on Moham. Cuts him down to size. Starry is ghosted in. The all-out comes across from Harry, sending him into a 1v1 with Viper. Just like yesterday, Viper doesn't have a shot in hell as the Cassante forces a 1v1, and it's all on to Bin and YXL. YXL gonna have to do the heavy lifting with the Graviton root flash forward into the Moonlight Vigil from Starry. Shuts everybody but Bin down. OMG, open our game back open.
A huge fight from OMG for themselves. OMG will trade the dragon, and Bin will get that first brick we were talking about a little bit earlier, so should be feats of strength over to BLG.
Yep, they do pick that one up. A little bit surprising to see that Shun is able to get that Herald, but you can see the priority for Juhan and the rest of OMG. They want that dragon stacking, and, well, they've been rewarded by the health bar. Haichao, good call out there. Want to watch out towards the flank side as well. There's a Solar Flare coming across, hitting absolutely nothing. The Octagon is now down below half HP. Haichao's going to come through with the flank. He wants the Unstoppable Force to steal away. There's the engagement. Moham gets thrown over the wall by YXL. He gets himself out. Haichao hijacks his own Shuriman Shuffle, but he doesn't get onto Viper in time. Haichao finally executes him. Supreme Display of Talent comes down as well, but YXL's been left untouched until Juhan finally hops on top of him, but he can't deal with the Azir on his own. He needs the help of Starry, who cuts down Shun for size for a multi-kill, and he's flashing after YXL. The dash to buy him some space, the slows coming across, and it seems like YXL is going to be able to limp his way out of here, but OMG just committed highway robbery. They get the Octagon and pick up another fight win.
They will be able to get the dragon too. The health bars of OMG are a little bit low though, so maybe waiting on these respawns until that next fight. But the flank, it's a little bit gross. Members here. Starry zones away from Harry. If it was a 4-for-4, maybe you'd take positive odds. But the fact that hold on.
Oh, on. Solar Flare down. All the stuns coming through from Juhan as well. But the unstoppable force. Shun throws the big rock right towards Juhan's head. He thought he had a magic pick onto On. Might have happened earlier in 2025, but this PLC is not going to let their support go for nothing. And now they have a critical dragon they could secure as Bin goes toe-to-toe with Haichao. Shuriman shuffle from YXL throws Moham into the waiting arms of Viper. And BLG look to have finally found their form after getting knocked around at the Otacon pit.
Yeah,
there's the
nice blue.
They seek it out with the blue ward there. On's going to try to play Protector. How creative can Juhan get into this pit here? He doesn't have a blast cone anymore. He has to flash over the wall, but they immediately ult top of his head. Both jugglers trade their ults. YXL throws it back towards the rest of his team, and he cannot smite the Baron away. Once again, they have to sacrifice Viper to make this play work, and now it's going to be Shun at 1 HP that picks up the Baron, but at what cost, Bilibili Gaming? Your backline is gone. Your entire team wiped to the wayside. OMG.
Assassin. This is something that is a risk with playing the Malphite. We haven't really seen it so far. OMG slam the Sylas. They're not concerned about any of your mid lane matchups with this Azir and how hard the laning phase is for Sylas here. They've taken, this is very aggressive.
Haichao, he has his own teleport. He's channeling it. On's not going to be able to get there to cancel, so they do end up trading those TPs. But not much more for BLG to find there. Again, it's such an interesting thing, J Battle, because you talked about this comp for BLG being so well equipped to kind of protect Viper in most scenarios, but there's always been some more bigger objective, something more hectic, requiring Shun's attention, requiring On's attention. And Viper just, like you mentioned, there's just no space to operate on this Yunara.
I think for On, the keeper's verdict has to go on Sylas
before
if he's taken.
died,
No Barons here.
No
the
Baron.
Never happened. I don't even remember it. I don't even remember the Baron. It didn't exist.
Nope, didn't at all. You know what does exist, though? Fourth dragon of the game, Infernal, back out for a second time, and BLG really using that priority to guard this pit. They know that a huge win con is Infernal Soul for either team. How can OMG once again slip their way into a winning fight position? They're a little late this time. Shun and Viper have burned down this dragon. And for the first time, OMG can't wiggle their way in for a big objective. It's BLG that even up our Drake count.
And back on the map first with some good wave pressure. Push in their lanes and get priority around the Drake pit. And my eyes, every fight slayer now are on Haichao. Where is he? Where is Viper positioned? What ult is he taking? If it's the Malphite ult, it should be low enough cooldown now where all the important fights will be Malphite ulting. Maybe to see if OMG check in or... I mean, this Cassante, you can try, but he's very tanky.
All right. I mean, there's no assistance that's going to be coming anytime soon here, and Harry does use the sweeper, so at least spot it out maybe a second ahead. Unstoppable force drop through. All Out does not pull far over the wall. On's going to get the stun. Harry's going to have to flash. Bin's going to flash after him. Can he get the stun through? Yes, he can. No unstoppable for him. It took a lot, but Viper does pick up that kill, and that may be a really big push here for that Infinity Edge we're looking for.
Yeah, this is a big risk, though. If Viper doesn't have it in base, does he have Infinity Edge completed in base? He's just taken a base, he's coming out. He does have it. Okay, that was huge, because you're risking, you lose the top tier 2. Guaranteed you're all showing bot lane. You've lost Bin, Flash, and the Malphite ult that should be back up relatively soon, but you've invested a lot of tools for this Infinity Edge on Viper, and he does have it completed. This is a massive point.
All right, Ben TP's in early here. Yeah, BLG, they're just going to... Yeah, I mean, look at it. We're 34 minutes in.
This.
Harry's death timer is still 20 seconds out. He'll have teleport, but this Baron may very well be done before Harry can even get back out onto the map. Haichao TP's on one side. It's Mohamed Starry, the bottom lane, coming up from the other. It has to be these creative flank angles for OMG.
Sketchy.
Down a man. They're going to throw themselves into the pit. They go after YXL. He goes into the stasis. Viper has to flash away from Haichao. Can he get enough damage? Now it's a huge Emperor's Divide from YXL to buy Viper just enough time to get this fight done. Starry way too low to compete with anybody, and Shun's going to chase him down. The Baron not needed. It was set up for Bilibili to finally find themselves a fight win.
It's scrappy, Slayer, but BLG, their backline finally plays together. Viper and YXL
could do so much work on this Baron, and I mean, how do you get in if you're Juhan? It's a Dominus Pop Renekton playing bodyguard. Really smart call there from Shun to get BLG right back out onto the map and lock down the Baron as this Infernal Drake spawns on the other side of the map.
Yeah, look at these ping Slayer. OMG know they're not going to be able to get around there. The bases, though, for OMG, they're slow. They're coming out of the base quite slow. Juhan's going to sweep out some vision and maybe try to get a flank angle here, but BLG going to shut him down.
And they're going to hop right onto the Dragon themselves. If you thought their Baron Shred was fast, Dragon would be as well, but they just want to get Juhan out of the picture, get rid of that Kiana ultimate, and Juhan has been routed, hiding in the invis for only a matter of time. Viper picks up that kill. What a couple macro plays we've seen BLG pull out to separate themselves in a very scrappy game one.
Haichao's over the wall, though. There is a ward on the Dragon. He's not going to go for it. BLG pushing in will break this top tier 2 over. Slayer, I remember hearing you on the LPL this year talking about BLG post 30 minutes win percentage being really low. This looks completely different.
Yep, this is a new look BLG. Good call there, Jay Beto. Gonna break up with the base of OMG here. Moonlight Vigil only gonna get that Infernum shot onto On, who just drops the Redemption, heals himself back up, and the inhibitor's next to fall here. Juhan's still out for another 20-ish seconds, and BLG, they want to end this game now. No more risking around with an OMG upset. They're on to the Nexus turrets. First one is going to go down as they bunt out Haichao, just like you wanted to see, Jay Beto, and they knock down Moham. Unstoppable Force under the turret from Shun. Maybe went a bit too far here. They need YXL knock down the turret. He does it, and he glides on in to cut down Starry for size, but they do lose Viper on the backside of this fight thanks to Harry in the all-out form. YXL goes down as well as Juhan finally respawns. BLG bit off way more than they could chew, and they've opened the door once again for OMG to keep our game alive.
Slayer, I don't know if the game might be over. It's 40 seconds BLG. Until... If you had to choose, you probably take the Soul for Baron trade in favor of Soul.
You don't need too much more pushing power. It's really just one more fight win that you need to finish this game off. Star gets a ton of damage down onto On. Moonlight Vigil going to be committed. YXL going to easily chop that one down. Redemption gets a ton of value here for BLG, so they trade one ult. Moham going to go right on top of Viper, though. Gets into the stasis, and it's YXL that gets rid of Starry. Both AD carries down early, but Viper doesn't have enough damage to trade out Juhan. YXL doesn't have enough to trade out Starry either, though. There's the hijacked unstoppable force from Haichao. YXL has to flash dash out of dodge, but Haichao is looking to hunt him down and will find that kill. It's only Bin and Shun left up. Make it Shun as the GA comes out here. OMG, maybe do they finally have the shot to pull off the upset? They've got the waves, and this hype train of OMG is going to keep on rolling. They cut BLG down to size and shock the Demacia Cup with a Game 1 win.
This is absolutely a game that BLG are favored in. The odds would be insane for BLG, but it's the GA from Starry. They land onto Starry. The GA is massive. And Viper, we had one fight